Spotlight. This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you an exclusive interview with India's High Commissioner to Namibia, Rahul Srivastava. Interviewer is Aparna Khund, Akashvani correspondent.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Namibia on 9th of this month, and this will be his maiden visit, and it will definitely be a significant one. So first of all, we'd like to start with that after the gap of 27 years, Indian Prime Minister is visiting. So how do you think this visit is significant in respect of this bilateral relationship between the two countries?
Yes, as you rightly said, this visit is happening place after 27 years, so that was a long gap. And Namibia got independence in 1990. So after independence, the relations have been steadily improving. But the visit will surely provide a great impetus to take our relations to a different level, a much higher level. It also happens during a time when the first female president of Namibia has taken over March this year. So we would have significant discussions, and the Prime Minister visit therefore is very important that it's taking place at the right time.
So as you mentioned that India supported Namibia even before its independence. So how does this relationship have evolved over the years, and especially in the recent times? What turning point it witnessed?
Our relations, yes, go back several decades before Namibia got independence. In fact, India was one of the first countries that supported Namibia's independence in the United Nations. This was in the 1946. And thereafter, we have stood by them hand in hand during their freedom struggle. We supported Dr. Sam Nujoma, the founding father. We supported SWAPO. And SWAPO opened its first embassy anywhere in the world. They opened in India. This was in 1986. So this political goodwill and the fight together against colonialism, that turned into good partnership after Namibia's independence. So the good political capital that was there, that came out before the independence, helped us develop momentum in other areas, whether it is economic, people-to-people ties, cultural. And after the 1990s, we have had significant presence in all these areas in Namibia. And same about Namibia's presence in India.
Trade between India and Namibia is growing, and currently bilateral trade is at 600 million. But still there is a lot of scope for expansion. So what new areas are being identified for deeper economic engagement, especially during PM's visit, considering that Namibia is one of the resource-rich countries in the world, having critical minerals and metals. So are we having any kind of new expansion in trade and economic ties?
Exactly. You mentioned about critical minerals. That's a priority for PM Modi when he visits. We will make some breakthroughs in that. Many of our PSUs, they are interested in investing in critical mineral sector and also heavy rare earth sector of Namibia. So that's one area we're looking at. Our total investments now are close to $850 million US in Namibia. And should some of the PSUs come, and the areas that we are looking at apart from lithium, it's graphite, molybdenum, chromium, copper, even gold. These are some of the areas that we are looking at. Also, with Namibia, we would have talks on sourcing uranium from Namibia because Namibia is a good source of uranium. And we have an agreement with them, which happened in 2009. Unfortunately, supplies haven't taken place, but the Prime Minister's visit would surely provide good time to start discussions on this, and I hope shortly we would be able to get uranium also from Namibia.
So what are the key bilateral agreements are expected during Prime Minister's upcoming visit?
We have several in the pipeline, so I don't really know how many we would be able to finalize by then. But yes, we have in various areas, whether it's health, whether it's IT, on capacity building. So there are also some economic MOUs that we are discussing, whether entrepreneurship. So these are some of the areas we are still in the process of finalizing. So I can't really say how many will be signed, but yes, some of them will be signed.
Okay. One of the highlights of this visit is the Unified Payment Interface interoperability. And recently the pact was also made. So how this initiative will help Indian companies as well as Namibian people?
Primarily, it's for the benefit of people who are in Namibia because as it happened in the case of India, UPI has transformed the digital payment system in India, the way people make payments. And the same kind of thing is going to happen here. It will bring in also more transparency, financial inclusivity in Namibia. And to top of the list, you depend less on paper currency. So it's a good thing happening in Namibia. The businesses, Indian businesses which are here, they will surely benefit because once you have a good payment system, it helps them. But I hope this is also beginning for our greater cooperation in fintech areas. Quite hopeful that at some point of time, maybe Rupee transactions you can do in Namibia. Similarly, making transfers to India would become easier once we have a seamless system.
When it is expected to be rolled out?
Soon after the Prime Minister's visit, maybe in a couple of months, it should be rolled out in Namibia.
And so Namibia is interested in Indian solutions in healthcare, farming, traditional medicines. So are there any plans of Indian government to work with Namibia, especially to extend its low-cost medicine model, Jan Aushadhi or Ayurveda or traditional medicines?
Yes, in fact, when I met the leadership of Namibia recently, they told me one thing, that they would want to source Indian medicines directly from the manufacturers, because it comes through a circuitous route. And that is one of our biggest exports to Namibia. Some of it is not recorded because it comes through various places. They are very interested in getting directly from India through the manufacturers. So two of the agreements which are also in discussion, one is on the Jan Aushadhi scheme and the other is recognition of Indian pharmacopoeia. Because once that happens in Namibia, then Namibia can get cheap and good quality medicines from India directly from the manufacturers. And once the Jan Aushadhi scheme is implemented in Namibia, then for one, the cost of their health budget will significantly come down. The second is that, like it has happened in India, cheap and good quality medicine would be reachable to even the far-flung areas in Namibia. Similarly, we have also got requests from Namibia for helping in their agriculture and health infrastructure, setting up health factories or agricultural equipment plants. So we are working on that also.
And how India is helping Namibia in capacity building, especially training and skilling its youth?
Well, capacity building, yes, it's a very important pillar of our bilateral relations. To date, I think we have about 1,700 experts from Namibia who have undergone training in India. I'm not talking about those who have been trained in Namibia also. And after the Prime Minister's visit, we'll scale up the capacity building for Namibian experts, both some of the areas you mentioned, agriculture, health, then IT, entrepreneurship, youth and women empowerment. So these are some of the areas that will expand into after the Prime Minister's visit.
So as you mentioned that India has supported Namibia in multiple ways, right from its independence, from donating rice and vaccines to sending defense experts and forensic advisors. So how these initiatives or how these help from India has been perceived by the people locally over here?
Well, it's been perceived very well, and that is why the number increases and we continue to do more of capacity building. We have, for example, several military advisors, two of them from the army who advise the Ministry of Defense in Namibia. We have 4 officers from the Indian Air Force who train pilots here. In addition to that, we do get experts from India, whether on forensics, whether on entrepreneurship, or in the Institute of Management. We have had experts who come to India. So the Namibians do appreciate. We also run a scholarship program for the young people. And iTech, which I have already mentioned, over 1,700 have gone to India for training. And these numbers also, once we utilize, we have about 200 slots, including for defense personnel every year. And should we utilize these slots, we should be able to increase them. But there has been also a request from the Namibian side to have specialized training for their agriculture experts, health experts, youth who can go for training in their areas. So this would be also one of the outcomes of the visit.
Recent years, Namibian cheetahs were relocated to India's Kuno National Park. So how do you look at this initiative as a new beginning in the bilateral relationship?
Yes, I always say that the cheetahs are like the brand ambassadors of Namibia in India. Even if some people don't know about Namibia, if you tell them, okay, the place from where the cheetahs came, they have a connect. And I see because of that, the number of tourists coming from India to Namibia has increased. The number of cheetahs, there was some concern in Namibian media, Namibian people that some cheetahs have died. Unfortunately, that happened. But the overall numbers have grown. And India is one of the few places where Namibia has sent some animals and the animals are thriving. In most of the cases, it hasn't been the case. So we are looking at a second tranche of cheetahs also going to India. And in this context, I would like to mention that under Prime Minister Modi, he has given this initiative of International Big Cat Alliance. And Namibia would be shortly joining that. They are keen to join. And our invitation is that they should join early, because we cannot not have a country which sent cheetahs to India and not be part of the IBC.
Yes. Looking at the upcoming India-Africa Forum Summit and the aspiration of African people and African nations for local manufacturing and value addition, how India is going to support African nations and especially Namibia in this regard?
Yes, Africa is a priority for India, and if you'd see during this visit, the Prime Minister started his visit from an African country, ending in an African country. And because of India's support, we have the African Union as a part of the G20 group. So yes, whatever problems the global south faces, whether it's Namibia, whether it's India, our challenges is common, whether it's climate change, whether it is food security. And we would want countries like Namibia in the global south, countries in Africa, we would like to share our experience and expertise on this, because we have the same kind of challenges, but in many cases we have been able to find some solution. And the Prime Minister is a strong supporter of the global south, so he always says that we should be assisting them in getting whatever we have faced challenges in, and we have been able to find solutions.
If we talk about Indian diaspora, how are Indian businesses and the Indian community contributing to Namibian economy, and what is their contribution? Because the number is small, I guess.
The number is small, but you'll be surprised. We have just about 450 people, but we are talking of investment which is over 850 million. And we have only a few companies, but these companies, they employ close to 5,000 people. And even in terms of training, the diamond companies which are here, 75% of their workers and employees are locals. And these people have been trained in India. These diamond companies, they send them to India to undergo training. So the small number of Indians which are here, they are contributing a lot to the Namibia's economy. And I'm sure that as our relationship grows, the number of the diaspora will also grow here. It's a very active diaspora.
How they are responding to yoga and other kind of initiatives that are being taken by Indian government?
Yes, I would say before the initiative International Day of Yoga began, there was awareness in Namibia, but not so much. But after that, there is more awareness of about yoga in Namibia. We recently celebrated International Day of Yoga, and we had a teacher from India who used to teach yoga, and she has left a few days ago. But she has made sure that there are lots of people well trained to become teachers. So that way, yes, yoga has spread. And when we celebrated the International Day of Yoga in Namibia, it was very cold. We started at 9 o'clock, but you would be surprised that the entire playground was full. So we had more than 500 people who had come.
And lastly, what message, sir, would you like to share with the people of Namibia as they prepare to welcome PM Narendra Modi?
I would say that the visit is taking place after 27 years, and as I said, Africa is a great priority for India and for Prime Minister Modi. And this visit will provide us a great opportunity to take our relationship to a different level. And as the fastest growing large economy in India, we have been able to surpass find solutions to many of our problems. I would want Namibians to utilize this opportunity to benefit from our relationship, and this visit provides that opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You were listening to an exclusive interview with India's High Commissioner to Namibia, Rahul Srivastava. Interviewer was Aparna Khund, Akashvani correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928 909 4044.
Spotlight.